All right, Lon, let's turn it to the offense. I believe that you were here last week or maybe the week before letting us know that you felt as though Max Johnson would win the job, correct? He'd eventually win the job, but you still think it's up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, I believe both. I mean, I believe Max is the guy with the intangibles. I think it goes beyond just raw football ability, quarterbacking talent. I think Max has something up here that's just, you can't really dictate. You can't really underestimate. You can't really anticipate. The way he carries himself in the offense, the way he's able to switch things up, the protections. I've seen some really valuable things that have helped him out of sacks or pressures that I've seen other quarterbacks on this team just run themselves right into. He hasn't been given as much freedom with audibles and things like that as Miles Brennan, of course, who's more seasoned as a veteran quarterback. But he's been given definitely a longer leash than many would suspect for, I guess, a redshirt freshman he would be with the extra year. But he had those 2 starts, and beyond those 2 starts, he came in and cleaned up a lot of games for us. I just think Max, every time he came in, there's something positive, something epic happening for LSU. Still, he's got to clean up the turnovers. There's some turnovers in spring, but here's the thing: there was bigger plays than the turnovers. But it's still such an early race, Mark. You got Garrett Nussmeier being talked about, and when I see him, I see maybe not Joe Burrow quite yet, where everything just looks so perfect, but more maybe like Johnny Manziel is the comparison I've heard, and it's like that is perfect, Johnny Manziel, because he is just flying around. He's anticipating all of these pressures. He knows how to use guys' momentum against themselves and get around those blitzers. It's incredible what he does. Garrett Nussmeier, I don't know if he'll start as freshman, but could I say I'd be surprised with that kid's talent? I wouldn't be, but it would be it'd be a crazy story. It'd be awesome. TJ Finley, there's a lot of positivity coming out of him. It's got to be cleaning up the turnovers, number 1. But number 2, he's dropped some weight. He looks leaner. He looks more. His arm has always been strong, but he's putting more power, more oomph, more speed. He's putting more purpose into his passing. Let's put it that way. He's putting more intent into his passing. Some absolutely killer intent in his passing, and he's a guy who can really move the chains of the offense really well. But if I'm going to go for a guy that's the complete package, it's got to be Max Johnson. We'll see at the spring game. It'll be very interesting who shows out the most and that type of thing. But, once again, it's very deceiving.